What is something you don't have the heart to tell to your family? That I'm getting annoyed by all the negativity they keep spreading. It feels like they don't even want to be happy. I lost all respect for my dad. I'm starting to get sick of the family gatherings around Christmas time, and I'm seriously thinking about just taking vacation around the holidays to Florida. My wife hates them. I feel sorry for husband because I don't like being around his family, and he wants to have a good relationship with them like he did while they were kids. My parents' house is about 4-5 degrees too warm. Makes it just a tad uncomfortable. This is the stuff. How many of them I have blocked on social media? Me too. My family are in the UK and I live in Canada. My grandmother died back in June and I posted on FB about it, and a couple of them posted very nasty messages on my wall. Not even in PM. They don't realize just how far 5,000 kilometers is. It's not like I can jump on a bus and be there in 30 minutes. My grandma's bedroom smells terribly of urine. She has a commode in there and I don't know whether urine is getting on the floor or she's not cleaning it or what, but the smell shocks me when I come visit. She has some bladder and incontinence problems, but she appears entirely mentally sound. I can't bring myself to say anything about it. She would be really embarrassed. I don't know what to do about this. The amount of my student loan debt. My mother would faint. This is why I'm debating going out college. My brother passed away last year on my birthday. When he died, for the first time since I was a child, everyone in my family wanted to talk to me. They all called me, and at the end of every call, they said, "Oh, and happy birthday." I was forced to celebrate my birthday this year anyways, but they all focused on him. I can't escape it. I don't want my birthday anymore, not because I'm selfish, but because I miss him. My family wants me to be happy that day, but they want me to remember him too. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. He was my absolute best friend. It just kills me to think about the fact that he's not here anymore. I wish my family would respect my wishes and just leave me alone on my birthday. That the reason none of my friends came over when I was a kid is because I never invited them. I was embarrassed of my insane mom and messy house. How much I truly loathe Christmas since my fiancé died, and how I'd really rather not celebrate. It would really hurt them. That seems like a perfectly reasonable way to feel, and I'm sorry this time of year is tough for you. I had been going to a therapist and psychiatrist because of my family's constant discouragement to my career aspirations. I had other reasons to see a therapist, but this made me reach out for help. The same thing happened to me. It actually really fricked me up and I ended up with no career aspirations. I'm 28, do pretty well, but feel totally unfulfilled and confused about a career path. My grandma was the worst, constantly lecturing me and telling me everything I ever wanted or liked was more or less wrong. Add years of this behavior up and bingo. The reason I stay in my room so much is to escape them. Whenever I am not in my room or out of the house, they insult me. Well, mine is less impactful than what's already on here, but they're all terrible cooks. Like, don't even understand fundamental cooking techniques. I'm no chef, but their food is borderline inedible, and it's a miracle they haven't given each other food poisoning multiple times. Problem is they love cooking and are proud of their repulsive standard dishes. I could never tell them the truth and I don't want to ruin our family memories. So I roll with it, have a small helping of everything, and just hit a drive Thursday on the way home whenever I eat with them. That the reason I hardly visit anymore is because there is no effort. I take 2 flights across 3 states, rent a car, spend a decent amount of coin, and get to my folks' house to find that they haven't even made the bed in the spare room, or cleaned it up, or taken some time off work, or want to go anywhere or do anything. I love them dearly, they love me, but that always stings a bit. I don't want the world to stop, or revolve around me, but a bit would be nice. I flew back to Ireland from China, cost lots of time and money, and had booked months in advance. My folks decided that it would be a good idea to visit my older brother in England for the first week. Welcome home indeed. That the way they raised me was abuse and it seriously damaged me as a person. My parents think they were great parents, especially my mom, who was the more abusive one, And it's not even that I don't have the heart to tell them because I don't want to burst their bubble. I don't have the heart to tell them because I don't have the heart to sit through an hours long lecture beratement on why I'm wrong and how what they did doesn't count as abuse and I have no right to be upset. I just keep not answering or returning their phone calls and texts, but they keep obliviously trying to reach out to me thinking that I'm the butthole here and they have a right to speak to and see their daughter regardless of my feelings. You're getting really old and I'm not ready to lose either of you. My dad is gonna be 76 in a few months and I'm dreading him not being there for me. And to my younger brother, get a freaking divorce, bro. Also a fear of mine. My dad is also in his 70s and while the average lifespan on his side of the family is well into the 90s, it's a thought that pops up every so often and scares me. My grandfather lied about quitting smoking. So did my wife. That I despise my parents for being so selfish during their divorce and not putting us kids first. Still 20 years later we get crappy comments from one about the other. At my wedding they wanted some sort of acknowledgement for being able to be civil. Congratulations on doing what 99% of the population can do. Buttholes. God, I feel this on many levels. Kudos to you for getting through it. Sometimes I just want to scream at my parents when they bring stuff like that up. I really need to go back to therapy. That I know you cheated on my mom. That I was actually traveling all over Europe and not studying in a university, after which I faked my university papers so that my parents would not worry. Though while traveling I met a good friend of mine, who is now my business partner. We started a small IT business. I was able to earn a good amount and finally get my degree a few years back. So basically, no harm done. But I will never tell them that, ever. That I'm so exhausted 24/7 that I just want to sleep and fade away. I'm still battling depression every day, but I'm functional because I'm still able to get up and work and I'm not suicidal. I'm just constantly overwhelmed and so freaking tired. That I was violated 2 weeks after I moved out of home. I was only 17. I just don't want to hurt them so I've kept it to myself. Similar. Last time I talked about anything close to this my mom said if I found out something like that happened to you I would kill myself. Add that to list of crap I am never telling my mother. If I didn't meet my so when I did I would probably be dead by now. ETA. I'm sorry for everyone that was in a similar or worse situation that I was in. I'm really glad though that every single one of us is alive and either in a good place or working on getting there. As another commentator said, therapy is really important for self-growth. I encourage everyone to do it if they have the means to. Thank you for sharing your stories with me. Same here. That man kept me off the street when I got sick and had no insurance and couldn't maintain my scholarships. My parents thought I was lazy and needed to learn to support myself. I have cancer. Probably the same kind that killed my mother's parents and is killing her brother. Not curable. It won't start to show for a while. And I want to enjoy what time I have left. Thing is, and here's a bonus relevant to the initial question, I wanted to enjoy most of it without them. Yeah, don't tell them until you have to then. Cancer has a way of making everyone want to be around you to show support. It is also okay to not want that support. That my husband and I are divorced. I moved out a year ago. He and I can't bring ourselves to tell our families because we don't want to hurt them and we don't want to talk about it. After 16 years, we don't want to upset the families. Mine and his family spend all of the holidays together at either his or my parents' house. We still do the holidays together because we don't want to talk to them about it. Our parents are up there in ages, so that's that. My brother violated me regularly when I was between 7 and 16. He was 18 years older than me and always lived in the same house when he wasn't in jail or on the street because he was an addict. He died of an overdose after one night when I was 16. He had violated me again probably 2 hours before my mom found him dead. It was probably the best thing that ever happened in my life. I felt trapped and was completely hopeless until he died and I hate him for being such a piece of crap. My family talks about how he was before being an addict, but the only man I remember is the one who got off on hurting and humiliating me and telling me I was worthless. It makes me sick when they speak of him like he was a son who lost his way. I tried to speak up at some point early on, but my mom and dad could never believe their firstborn was a monster. That is messed up. I don't think it's bad to say that you are happy he is gone. Stay strong. My meds aren't for casual anxiety, they're for acute PTSD. I'm seeing a therapist. I've been hiding my episodes and passing them off as school jitters for half a year. You're brave for getting help and I'm sorry you have to hold this secret. Hope you can find some peace and calm in this season. Hi fellow grown siblings. Now that our parents are both dead, it's become very apparent that we really have nothing in common. No real rapport. I don't feel like I really know you as people as you won't share anything real about your lives with me. And every time I tell you personal things about my life, you give me one word hum or yeah answers that make me feel like you don't give a crap what I just told you. And then the subject changes to some meaningless bull's topic. That's the one who actually answers the phone. The other one won't even do that or ever return a phone call. And if not for being related, I can't imagine why we would spend time together. And I also felt this uneasy detachment my whole life, but always blamed myself. And now that I am older I realize it's not just me, or maybe not me at all. And not only that, but I kind of realize what a bunch of self-centered jerks you all have been. And I feel like I went above and beyond to make things fair, work together, help and be supportive, while you guys just looked out for yourselves. And that hurts. It all hurts. And it hurts to realize now that I am an adult. I never knew better. I always just thought it was something I did. And I see how that set me up in life to be a people pleaser and a doormat. Always trying to be a little more supportive. Give a little more. While you all just looked out for yourselves. Thanks buttholes. Your sibling. Yet being an ex-Mormon in Utah is a bit frustrating. That favoriting your eldest child definitely impacts the two younger kids in the family and we can all see it. Small progress is still progress and showering the oldest in it for every little thing they do while me and my sister get slated for any tiny progress we do is ripping the family apart. That I love them so goddamn much. But I drove them away and I went out to live on my own and I just miss them every freaking day. It's never too late to reach out. I wish everyone just bought one sentimental and well thought out gift for each other and save our time and money for things that matter like helping each other with doctor bills from extreme health problems, or other enormous bankrupting disasters, or large donations for the poor, or sending money to places that were crushed by hurricanes, or donation to our local community, or even saving money for ourselves when that's not needed and improving our families' lives. Instead we spend thousands on bulls and stress ourselves out, turning what should be an honest and exciting time for friends and family into some materialistic contests where everyone is anxious that they didn't buy enough or spend enough. I don't love them. Not one bit. I had a miserable childhood and if I could choose to I would never see them again. You don't have to see them ever again if you don't want to. I was gonna say that I feel really lonely and that I blame them for my inability to function as a social human being, but reading though the thread makes my problems really dull and not worth sharing in comparison. Your problems are as valid as everyone's else. It is how you feel and if it makes you feel better you should share it. That my childhood did affect me negatively. I just don't see the point in bringing up something that I don't feel can be changed and or help anything. That I'm questioning whether or not I still believe in God. My family, hyper Southern Baptist, found out I was an atheist through my EXS texts when her parents stole her phone and saw her and I were exchanging explicit messages. My dad eats popcorn too loud at the movies. Stop digging in the bag. Stop shaking the bag before every handful. That I am 21 and no longer a child, but I am sure that half the world has to deal with this struggle. I'm 58 years old and people are still telling me what to do. It never ends. I no longer want to be a part of my family. Not suicide, more like denouncing. I don't want to talk it. I haven't told them that I want this to be my last Christmas. Not currently suicidal. Have been in the past. But more like, I want to move out when I graduate college in a few months and never look back. No contact. No holidays. Maybe talk to my brothers still because it's not all their fault. I just feel alone and I want a new start in a new place so I can make a name for myself. I can just be me. I tried to end my life as a child because of you. I will never forgive you, no matter how nice you are now. I feel this. I first tried killing myself when I was 12 because of my mom. We are now civil to one another, and that's the best it'll ever get. That my Reddit username is Dong Nipples. I'm with you here. That I'm not a Christian anymore. Knowing that my parents will think I could go to heck for eternity if I were to die now would break their hearts, and I don't think I could tell them. Over the past year, my husband and I have moved significantly away from the Mormon church from which we were both raised in. My dad was just called as a head of a congregation, and the last time my mother-in-law had a child leave the Mormon church, she went into a 4-year depression. I was violated by my first boyfriend, which is why my new boyfriend is so important to me, because he treats me right. You have been visited by the Wealth Rat. Subscribe in 12 seconds and he will share his wealth with you. Thanks for watching. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.